Don't be surprised at a road transport man showing you a railway station. Mr. Smythe, the station master at Killin, could tell you that road and rail work very much side by side these days. Here's an example from my depot. I'd like to tell you about it. Bert Lowe and his pals were no railwaymen, though for 2 years they lived and slept on the line. Well, not exactly. Now, why did they find themselves in this particular situation? First, let me say they were all hand-picked. Bob Cuthbertson, the youngest, a fine loader and driver. Canny Geordie Joyner, 58 and 38 years in transport. Dave Oliphant, the man in charge. They come no finer than Dave, looked up to by all, including many a customer. And Bert, who at 18 stone fills his boots. Cook and driver all in one. But most of all, a team who for 2 years lived and worked together. As I said, they were not there to run the railway, but the railway was an important factor in their daily life. In fact, what the train brought up Glenogo was what they were there to take away, which was why Mr. Smythe, the station master, could often be seen talking to Dave Oliphant. That was in the nature of the whole operation. Every morning at 6, that was the deadline, in front of them a journey to be measured not so much in distance as by the nature of the going. Myself, I've been in transport like Dave Oliphant since the days of horses, but I'll tell you this was the toughest job I'd ever assigned a lorry to. Loading was always done the night before. They knew every detail of their job. They had faith in the vehicles they were to drive and in the service and maintenance that backed them. So once more, let's go. It's time to be away. Only 22 miles distance, but with 7.5 tons of cement aboard, the route placed tremendous strain on gears and brakes, and on men. Ask Bert, even with his 18 stone and 30 years experience, what it felt like once they turned onto the new road at Kennock. The road had been specially built, but without much thought for the vehicles that would be using it. Still, it was a road, and Scotland needs them. This one, when the job was done, would be taken over by the council, for it linked Glenlochy with Glenlyon. Or you might ask Dave. Only a man who's driven vehicles since the days of oil lamps could tell you what it means to lug 20,000 tons of cement up roads like this. This is country where nature, for all her savage beauty, can play a dirty trick or two. At certain seasons of the year, it was rain and yet more rain, and this country was well designed to catch it. That river can rise 6 feet in as many hours. No point in swearing at the weather, for rain was the very basis of the operation. Rain to be trapped and turned to power. Here was where they were heading for once more. Giorra Dam, one of quite a few in Scotland's hydroelectric scheme. Everybody knows that dams are made of concrete, and concrete from cement. Poor chappies of my acquaintance are very, very sure of that engineering fact. Ask any of the poor what their shoulders will feel like tonight after doing this return journey twice a day. Twice a day for 2 years, and not a lorry off the road. They had plenty of time to ponder the natural beauties of their country, but up here only a fool would take his eyes off the road for long. The folk up here have a saying that you can live without your friends, but not without your neighbours.